This video is about literal equations, and I love literal equations. They're a lot of fun and they make me happy, and I hope that they make you happy and you'll enjoy them too. But what they are is they're an equation that has more variables than numbers. It's actually a lot of variables. So every now and then they'll put a number in. Typically it's like y equals mx plus b, and we solve for, it'll tell us to solve for something. So we can be like, okay, I'm gonna solve for x. It can be even something as simple as m is equal to x over 5 and we are solving for x. It can be j is equal to g over capital F and we can solve for a capital F. And basically all you need to do is you need to say, okay, if I am solving for x and x is right here, then I need to get rid of the other things with the same rules that I use if these were numbers. So I would have to get rid of the stranger first. So now I have y minus b is equal to mx. And then I would divide to get rid of m. So divide to get rid of m. And now x is alone, and it would equal y minus b over m. Totally fine. That's great. Here, if we're solving for x, x is being divided by 5. So I will need to multiply by 5. And then I will need to multiply this side by 5. Really, you can keep it as a 5m. That's gonna mean the same thing, but it's equal to x. If I'm solving for a capital letter, you just need to make sure that you are case sensitive. So don't change that to a lowercase letter. Yeah. So if I'm solving for capital F, it's currently timesing by g, so I will divide by g. So over here I will divide by g. So capital F is equal to j over g. They are a lot of fun. We'll start with them being pretty basic, and then we can get them to be more complex. Let me show you a couple of examples of a more complex one. So if we have something like 9x is equal to b to the third plus 4h, we can take this and say, okay, solve for x. And that's gonna be easy because the only thing that's happening with x is timesing by 9. So over here we would divide by 9. So over here we would divide by 9. So now x is equal to this. And that was pretty easy. We can start with that same equation, 9x is equal to b to the third plus 4h, and we can actually solve for our capital H. If this was a two-step equation, this would be your stranger and this would be the last thing you have to take care of. So how do we get rid of our stranger? We do the opposite. Totally okay that it's a b cubed. That doesn't matter. If we minus a b cubed here, we need to minus a b cubed on this side. Because they are not like terms, we just set them next to each other. So 9x minus b to the cubed is equal to what we had left over here, 4h. Now, 4 and h are multiplying, so to get rid of the 4, I would divide. So over here, I would also divide, and h is equal to 9x minus b to the third all over 4. And that's how you would solve that. So it can actually change the variable that you are solving for, so watch for that too, okay? Sometimes they'll have the same thing up there, and they'll be like, solve for this, or solve for this. Y equals mx plus b is very, very popular. If we were to solve for b, it would be different. You see how this is adding to these? So I would need to subtract mx, and I would subtract them together. So then over here, I would need to minus mx. So y minus mx is equal to b. I can even solve for m. Y is equal to mx plus b. This is like our two-step equation again. So we minus b, y minus b is equal to mx. Divide by x this time because I'm trying to isolate m. So I would divide by x, and that right there is equal to m. Let's do one more just because I love them and I think they're fun. Okay, so if we have capital H is equal to 3dA plus f, I can solve for d. Okay, So D is currently being attached to 3 and A. So I have to deal with them last. I have to get rid of this guy who's not attached to him. And I get rid of him by doing the opposite of add, which is subtract. So minus F. Now, because these aren't like terms, I just set them next to each other. H minus F, that's what I did up here, that's what I do in this line, is equal to 3DA. Now, 3 is being multiplied by D and A is being multiplied by D, so I will do the opposite of both of them at the same time. I'll divide by 3 and I'll divide by A. 3 divided by 3 is 1, A divided by A is 1, and I have D left alone. So because I divided by 3A here, over here I also need to divide by 3A. So then D is equal to this, capital H minus F all over 3A. So if you understand the rules of moving things across an equal to sign, you're gonna do just fine. And they're actually a lot of fun.